it's not a lot of work, but it takes about 2 hours to get there and about 2 hours to get home.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, you're literally only working for just another couple hours, or because all the facilities are so close that you just bam, 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 knock them out. But like I said, it takes so long to get there. But
the commute, yeah.
I'm from the wrestling world, so I worked Memphis. I mean, Memphis to, what is it? No, Louisville to Evansville, and then that was not good. Not good for business. All right, Jess is going to bed, so I mean, I literally just walked in the door.
And I'm glad I waited up for all this quality time. Love you.
How you guys been? Love you.
All right, just working a lot.
Yeah, same.
Were you having problems?
No, we're doing we have our inventory coming up Monday and Tuesday, so we just been getting shit ready for inventory at my store. It's a pain in the ass. You got to clean up all the fucking messes people have made since your last inventory.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Only inventory I got to do is make sure I don't have any fucking pharmaceutical drugs in my car when I leave my last stop. And I mean, I don't know if you want to save it for. I don't know if it's that funny enough, but I just had my boss just call me and ask me about a certain facility, like a unit that didn't get their medicine. And then I had to think for a second. And I'm like, well, there's nothing in my car, because I just went out to my car and looked, and there's nothing in here. And then I remembered that one of the nurses at one of the other stations told me the girl was outside and that she would sign for it. So apparently she was lazy enough to not take it or even tell the girl that I have medicine for you. Well,
I mean, I guess if there's a signature, your ass is covered.
Well, I'm not leaving without a signature.
Yeah.
No. That's not. Well, I mean, technically, legally, I can't. I mean, because there's a big thing on the board at work that talked about forgery and shit like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm never going to do that shit. They told me I had to wait at this one station for the nurse to come to sign. She was outside, I guess, smoking. I said, I'll fucking stand here for whatever.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's getting signed by that motherfucking nurse. And the bees that way sometimes downtown, Bruno.
Well, we can go ahead and get started if you guys are ready.
Well, I got a page and a quarter. I don't know if it's anything good, but still a page and a quarter.
Here we go. This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are delving into Hardcore Heaven 1994. Nate Maxon here with you, along with my brother Aaron.
What's up, Ham Bones?
And, of course, Mr. Chad Austin as well.
Fucking Archie Mitchell all the way.
I almost said, and Archie Mitchell, but no, wrong show.
I'm thinking about legally changing my name. I mean, it sounds like you could be famous.
He's trying.
I mean, it's better than my legitimate last name. Nobody's ever going to think that guy's possibly famous. He's probably a Yugoslavian defective. Or a Russian sympathist or something. But yeah, I mean, I always sign at all my jobs. When I sign in as Chad Austin, because they don't ask for an ID or anything. So I'm just Chad Austin that's all I ever say, just Chad Austin.
Yeah, that's all right. Warrior was allowed to be Warrior, right? Yeah.
Plus my fucking father's a fag, and I decided to not keep the name. He's a fucking idiot. Believe me, I wish he was in the ring with 911.
It probably would have been better than what we saw in this show. Yeah, I have my and well, obviously we're going to delve into it, folks. But I have on my notes here at the end of my notes it said, because this is kind of an iconic show for ECW when you think about it. The end of it. You know, for the whole existence of that promotion, every time they opened a show, they showed us when the fans threw the chairs in the ring on top of Public Enemy.
Oh, dude, I mean, where else has that happened?
Exactly. Yes. So I mean, of course, you're going to milk that cow for as long as you possibly can. The show itself, though, for being a thing of legend, I guess, I thought was kind of a letdown. And I mean, obviously, we'll get into it, but I don't know what you guys thought.
I'm willing to say it was probably a letdown because it was edited.
Okay.
And I'm sure that it didn't come across as great live as on tape
On
as it did
TV.
live.
Yeah.
I kind of noticed that myself, and it was like this was a pretty hot show.
Mm-hmm.
At least on paper going in.
And that's probably the case too, because there is a lot that kind of happens off camera. You know, you see someone's foot or you see someone's head or something, but you don't actually see what fucking happened because of just the one camera shot.
I don't even know if I noticed that. Maybe I like feet.
Yes, you beat me to it, Aaron, with the Tony Atlas.
Oh, geez, it is. When I took my ex-girlfriend to a show and she met Tony Atlas, and me and Tony were talking, and she's like, "Does your man lick your toes?" She goes like, "What?" She goes, "Well, does your man lick your toes?" And she goes, "No." He goes, "Oh man." He said, "I'll lick them toes till Sunday," and I think the show was Friday. I'm just thinking, oh, good Lord. And then that was one of the last shows she ever went to.
Kind of turned off from the pro wrestling business from that, huh?
Yeah, good. I mean, she got she Beyond the Mat wasn't out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if she could have watched Beyond the Mat before she decided she was going to go with me, she would not have went. She would have said, "That's okay. You go do your thing, man. I'm going to sit here and drink vodka until my liver falls out of my fucking rectum and whatever she does."
Well, this show, Hardcore Heaven, takes place August 13th, 1994 at the ECW Arena. According to Wikipedia, it was a sellout.
Every show is a sellout.
Every show's a sellout.
I mean, no, legitimately, every show's a sellout because for every show they sell whatever amount of seats they got. That's why you see 100 people standing. So then every single show they have to bring in more chairs. So I mean, I'm not going to say that it wasn't a sellout.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it totally was. They just had to bring in a whole bunch of extra chairs.
As time goes on, like I think you alluded to a few shows ago, Chad, the crowds look bigger and bigger. And at this point, they added the bleachers in yet, or you know what I mean, like the seating outside from ringside.
I don't think so because I remember. What'd you say?
I don't remember seeing it. It just seemed like the crowd was just flat, like not flat, like reaction wise. I mean, I didn't see anybody like
above other people.
Well, I remember the reason why I say I didn't think that they had the bleachers in there because I remember seeing people walking by in the background,
mm-hmm.
like going to their seats. And if you would have had bleachers, I wouldn't have never saw that.
Right. Well, the opening match here is Hack Myers versus Johnny Hotbody. Yes, Johnny Hotbody's still around, and he is.
It was Hack Myers versus Rebel.
Why did I write Johnny Hotbody? Rockin' Rebel.
Because they're both going to be the ham bones of the week.
Rockin' Rebel.
Rockin' Rebel, and who else did you say?
Johnny Hotbody.
Yeah, they're going to be the hams of the week. And I don't even think Johnny Hotbody work here anymore.
No, not anymore. So apparently I wasn't paying attention. But anyway. Oh, good. In my notes of the match, I actually have Rockin' Rebel written down. Good for me. All right. But anyway, this match was pretty basic. Nothing good, nothing bad.
They both did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The crowd was into both of them too. I mean,
I don't mean to cut you off, Aaron, but I was going to say my only other note on the match really was actually Hack was really good during this match at reading the room too, as far as reacting to the Shaw chants and things like that. I thought he did a better job in the match than Rebel did, but they were both fine.
Well, Hack had a lot of people there to help him. I mean, not only did he have ultimately Paul, but I mean, he was friends with me. He was
Mhm.
friends with Axel and Ian, you know? And I mean, I thought it was a decent opener. I mean, Hackomania was running wild, but my closed caption said Hackle.
Hacklemania.
So Hacklemania was running wild in Philadelphia at Hardcore Heaven 94.
And apparently on my end, so is Johnny Hotbody. Sorry about that.
Your closed caption said it was Johnny Hotbody too.
No, my stupid head apparently said it was Johnny Hotbody.
Hey, that to me was a pretty big win for Hack.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually not having watched this show probably in 20 years, I forgot he won. I figured Rebel was going to win, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I already at that point I already knew that Rebel was. You already lost to me. So I think you lost to me, yeah, right?
Yes. Yes. When
Yeah,
you were
so
having your win streak as a babyface. Yeah.
So yeah, he must have knew he was on his way out. He was just there for the payday and the fact that he had the license.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul needed him because at that point, Pennsylvania is like Maryland. They only allow so many people to have promoter's license because they don't want any Tommy Fierro, jabroni out there just running goofy ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus they somebody realized you can get paid for it.
Whose license did they use after Rebel? Did Paulie finally get one, or did Gordon get one?
I want to think that Todd got one from maybe Goodhart.
Okay.
I mean, because like I said, they weren't giving licenses out. You would have had to, and it was grandfathered kind of thing, so it was probably hard to get it. Or unless they did a Vince route and just said, "Hey, this is all bullshit."
Yeah.
but the commission realized they can make money off of this, like every commission does, and that's the Ronald McDonald about it. Is that even when I had to go to the hospital from working a match where I got busted open in the head with a trash can, and I was the second guy to get hit by it by Brian Christopher. My partner was the first, so he dented it. But when he dented it, he created a sharp edge, and Brian didn't really spin it around, and he kind of just hit me, and then boom, we were laying on the ground, and he looked at me and he goes, "You're bleeding." And I looked down on the ground, and I wheeled it. And then I tried to turn. There was I want to say $25 bill. I tried to turn it into the State Athletic Commission, and they told me they weren't going to accept it because it happened outside the ring. And if you read the Maryland State Athletic Commission rules, it's fucking 1956. Like literally. I mean, it's that bad. That's the rules that they still basically apply by unless you pad your pockets.
That's funny because when you're telling that story, that's in one of Foley's books. He's talking about I think he was fighting Vader or something, and Vader threw him into the guardrail and it busted him open, and he wanted to get checked. He wanted to get free medical treatment for it or whatever, and the athletic commissioner was like, "Oh, that happened outside the ring," and Harley Race was like, No, it was a headbutt. Like in his Harley Race voice, he's like, "It was a headbutt."
Yeah, he would know how to work
Harley.
Right?
Come on, Harley. You know it was the guardrail, and Foley said that guy. Harley looked right at that guy and was like, "It was the headbutt."
Yep.
I was like, "Yep, it was a headbutt."
That's what the guy said. That's what the guy repeated. Dude, he could have been concussed and ended up looking like, I don't know, Rocky Dennis. His brain could have swelled to where he looked like Sloth from the Goonies.
It was a headbutt.
Yeah, dude, it sucked, man, because they'll take your money, but they won't do nothing for you. And then once a year, you got to get a physical.
Probably pay for that too, huh?
No, I think it's another $40 because I think the promoter's got to pay for a certain percentage of it.
Okay.
And then I cover the rest of it because they do them all at one time, kind of. Every time we go in there, I always go over to the sheet that our State Athletic Commission guy had. He's was a buddy of mine, And he had one of them old school printer papers, like a stack of them that had everybody's name, everybody's real name, everybody's address.
Oh, like the old school like dot matrix paper where it's all connected together.
Where you tear the little ends off.
Yeah.
I was just going through it, going, wow. Like he had everybody's name and address. And
Jimmy Cicero. What?
No, I don't think he was on that.
The next match on this show, speaking of Chad wrestling, is Chad Austin against Tommy Cairo.
It was okay.
I actually put down here that Tommy, and this isn't even me because you're on the show saying this. Seriously, you were selling well and stuff, but Tommy looked totally uninspired during this match. I don't think his face changed.
Well, why would you think he looked uninspired?
Well, all right. So they replaced him with Tommy Dreamer in his feud with the Sandman, pretty much. And
do you think he saw the writing on the wall?
Yeah, and he was told that he was not going over on this fine evening in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Well, you got a WWE network music treatment. Do you remember what you actually came out to?
I don't think I had music.
Well, they added some music then.
Yeah, if I did, it wasn't anything that I picked. And back then they weren't using that dude.
Mm-hmm.
They were still using original music, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have had to have been either something that the guy picked. That guy was pretty cool, actually. The Music Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was pretty decent. Because he sat up on the Eagle's nest, like on that stage.
Okay.
And you could walk up there and just sit there behind him and watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And yeah, so he was cool. He was a pseudo mark. He wasn't a big mark. But, he liked wrestling, but his main deal was being a DJ. Wouldn't he announce, like, during an intermission that if anybody was having a wedding, a birthday party, a bar mitzvah, a coming out party, I bet you he would be the guy that would be doing it, promoting his mobile DJ business.
He's got his trailer sitting out in front of the arena so you can see his phone number and shit.
Dude, he actually did because he had a lot of shit.
Put your name on.
That was the time when they actually, I want to say started having money or spending money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say they had it because we all know how that fucking went. But I never had a check bounce.
The finish of this match. Well, let's see. Tommy misses a move off the top rope. Chad hits a sunset flip. Tommy,
about that bump that he takes into the corner.
You can go right ahead.
That was fantastic. You took that bump in that corner and got stuck. That was really good.
I stole that. I know I stole it from somebody, but I want to say maybe it was Waltman.
Sounds about right. Yeah,
like a 1991 or 92 like Minneapolis independent show kind of thing.
Yeah, I really like that
because I remember he did it in the WWF.
Yes, he did it. He did it. I think in at least one or two of his matches with Jerry Lynn in the GWF too.
It was a great bump, and I knew I knew I could take it safely. I thought I took good bumps for the guy.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I have here, Chad's bumping good, Chad's selling good, Tommy's uninspired, and like you said, obviously we know why. But
how about that backdrop he gave me? Like I always took pride in I never took a standard backdrop because it was all just bullshit. You know what I mean? if you see everybody doing the same like bump, but no, I would always either try to flip all the way over, flip to my side, flip to like make it look like I was trying something.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know what I mean? And he got me, so I fell awkwardly because it doesn't hurt. The ring doesn't hurt that bad. It ain't nothing you can, especially when you're in the middle of a match.
And really, regardless of how the move looks or not, once you're in the air, you're in control of yourself anyway, right? Unless Scott Steiner's throwing you around and he doesn't.
Well, I
like
want to
you or
say you
whatever,
probably got to set yourself up for that.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got to set yourself up to how you're going to take the bump. Because I mean, my job was to make the guys look good.
Right.
I mean, I did my best to make Tommy Kyra look good. And I wrote it was okay.
And
Chad, I said, I totally took good bumps, and I won.
Chad wins with his feet on the ropes here. Of course, your ever so wonderful manager at the time, Jason, was not at ringside because he is about to be in the next match against Mikey Whipwreck for the ECW TV title. I'll let Aaron
Don't have
take
a lot of notes.
Yeah, I don't either. I do have a note here that some fat lady some fat lady gave Jason flowers at ringside. Some fat lady in a mask. Unless it was a fat guy in a mask. I don't know.
That was a fat man that was a fat man in a gimp mask.
Oh, good Lord. Archie Mitchell was there? Yeah, I don't have anything for that match. It was just what it was. I mean, Mikey was so good at getting beat up.
Yes.
I mean, because I guess most of the time, like me, he really was. And that whole look on his face when he would stand there and look like he knows what he's about to get into. That's probably half shoot.
Yeah, I have here. Mikey does some great hope spots in this match. The crowd loves him. They're just eating it up. Joey's kind of funny on commentary during this match too.
Do you remember where they said Jason's from?
No.
Europe.
Oh, well, I actually should have known that.
They say from Europe, Jason, the sexiest man alive.
From Europe, New York.
He's just from all of Europe.
Yes, he's ambiguously from Europe.
Yeah, he's ambiguous, all right.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I ain't going to go there.
But Aaron, your notes on the match or anything about it before I get to the finish? Because like I said, I was actually more focused on, again, Mikey with his spots and everything. And Joey, I thought was funny on commentary here too, talking about how buying everybody drinks and,
Jay Sully?
Yeah.
Fake Jay Sully that never showed up?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they did that?
I wonder if it was just Paulie and or Joey just ribbing on Jay Sully, maybe.
Like being a drunk? Because remember back in the old shows where when he
was all sweaty and
he'd be hanging out with Eddie Gilbert on like Bourbon Street or whatever it is, Beale Street.
Fucking hammered with him.
Yeah. So that's probably just the rib.
Red nose, bags under his eyes.
Because I think Sully was still there. I think he was a stooge or something. But
I never met him.
Because I know I've seen things where he's like things, but after this that I've watched where I've seen him like up in like the Eagle's nest.
No, maybe he worked in the back. I mean, like production wise.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do anything with the boys. Because he was never on the show that I was on. And what was the deal with the Pitbull run-in? Is that because they were Jason's guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, because I didn't make that correlation. I'm like, why are the Pitbulls just running in out of nowhere?
Yeah, they're part of your faction.
My faction?
Yeah, you're in this. It's the Rockin' Rebel, Chad Austin, and the Pitbulls.
Well, at least I know where I stand.
Managed by European Jason.
Yeah, I know where I stand. I didn't even know I was in it. How much am I giving Jason? Am I giving him 10%?
It's
a matter of fact, I'm still paying him off.
But you can Nate, you can just talk about the finish because the finish of this thing is fucking stupid. I think.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Yeah, and I can always tell when the finish is bad when my notes don't make any sense after the fact when I read them. Because, you're trying to write a note about something that, okay, how do I make sense of something that doesn't make any sense? Of course, the stipulation of the match was it can't end by disqualification. So,
or count out.
Yes. There's a chair brought in the ring. And at some point, Mikey cracks the referee with the chair, but then he pins Jason. But then the they announce Mikey is the winner. But then the pit bulls come out and attack Mikey, and then Jason pins Mikey, and they announce Jason is the winner. And that's literally, I don't know how to describe it other than that, because that's literally how it went down. It was so confusing.
I guess it was 24/7 rules. I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't have Jay Cargill run out. Good night. Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes other than the fact that I have a bunch of question marks. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
And at the end of this chaos, Jason is the new ECW TV champion.
Like, I don't know.
Jason went over?
Yeah, but Mikey went over, and then they announced him, but then they were just like, oh, never mind, that didn't happen. And then they just had Jason get a pin from help from the pit bulls. I don't know if Jason's dumbass forgot to kick out or something.
They wouldn't be surprised.
And the timekeeper didn't fucking realize it.
Oh, you have to go back then. You have to go back then and look for a certain spot like prior to that, where either the referee is like leaning over and talking in Jason's ear or somebody, because they know that could have happened. That could have just been a spot that went awry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
what
what
make a lot of sense to me.
Like, when I saw it, I was like, I think Jason forgot to fucking kick out.
Oh, that makes total sense.
He's like, he's so used to getting fucking pinned that he's just like, yeah. It's like muscle memory.
What did Joey Styles say for the last 8 years?
Yes.
What did he say? He had 5 wins in the last 8 years. Unbelievable.
Well, directly after this, as the pit bulls are in the ring, Tasmaniac and Jimmy Snuka come out to make the save for Mikey, but they are supposed to be having a match with the pit bulls, and that match just starts here. And I have no idea why they let Jimmy Snuka get the pin in this match. It's not even really a match. They come out, Taz kind of hits one of the pit bulls with a T-bone suplex. Jimmy Snuka gets the Superfly Smash off the top and makes the pin. The pit bulls are beat in record time, and Jimmy Snuka gets the pin. So this did nothing for anybody that's going to stick around in this company.
Other than the fact that I'm pretty sure I'd willing to bet any amount of money on it that Paul still owed money to Snuka.
Mm-hmm.
And he was promising him, if you do this, you'll get your money. And I'm also willing to bet that he probably didn't get his money.
Didn't get his money.
But don't we have I don't have any other notes on this.
No, I don't either. It was quick and to the point, and it's over. Aaron, you have any comments on this before we move on to our next debacle here?
No, it was stupid.
Yeah, but we have an old boy match coming up next.
The next match is the world famous Mr. Hughes,
Big Cat.
He's dealt with Luger, he's dealt with the Undertaker, and tonight he's dealing with 911. And the best part of this match is Shane Douglas introducing Mr. Hughes. They've been building to this, and given the abilities of the two men, this is exactly what they were building to. This is a plotting match, nothing happening. The 911 wins with a choke slam.
I told you the future of Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, I think he's on his way out here.
He has to be.
Because I think we're not too far off from. Obviously, I don't think he's around. He's not even around Douglas when Douglas throws down the title. I don't believe. I think he's gone by then. So,
I'm sure he was. And the word that I got, and I don't know about anything, is that he was working for like $250 or $300 a night, and he's coming off a WWF run against Undertaker. And he's making $250 or $300 a night.
Mm-hmm.
That just tells you the state of affairs of where his career went,
right?
And what he was into recreationally.
A bit of a bridge burner too, I guess.
Oh yeah, that too, because I mean, I'm sure everything was over money,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure he agreed to come in for a certain amount, and then when he got there, he got a certain amount, but then he probably tried to hold the guy up for another 100. You know?
Yeah.
Because the old guys, I don't know how you consider him an old guy. Be like, yeah, but look at the house; it's sold out. And back in the 70s and 80s and stuff, if this house was sold out, you would see it. I mean, even in the 90s, you would see a bump on your paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
If the guy made money, then everybody made money. But aren't we coming up on
Curtis Hughes is bringing the August 1993 edition of WWF magazine with him, so he can be like, "Do you see me holding the urn? I got the Undertaker."
Yeah,
That's his negotiating binder. That's his platform that he's. That's his hill.
where it got him.
That's his hill he's dying on.
I haven't seen his name in a long time on a result.
Well, 911, which wins this plotting thing with a choke slam. And then Shane Douglas decks Paulie here. And 911 choke slams Angel. Aaron, anything else you want to say about this?
Oh, Aaron, you I hope you're all over this.
It was fucking terrible. Like,
No, there's one specific line.
Oh, yeah, I have that written down too. If it's the one I'm thinking of, Chad. But
what is it?
when Paulie tells Shane to get his dead, smelly fish out of the ring.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I mean, I had to write that quote down. That was brutal.
funny because it's true.
Oh, I bet you. I mean, she wasn't around. That could have been it for her. Probably, right? Well, we lost Aaron, but
Is
I'm
she-
still here.
oh, your picture ain't.
Is Angel around like way later, like in some, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different ballet.
No, I think you're right. I think she was brought back during some.
Isn't she like with Simon Diamond or something later on down the line or something
Oh,
one of those weird factions that they had, you know? And
But
like,
that's a long time from here.
yeah,
She might have been in the flock.
I don't know, but I think she was brought back for something, and it was pretty much short term.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything that they had planned to do, like to bring her in. I don't remember, but I do remember seeing her later.
Yeah,
And
like I said,
random.
you know how Paulie liked to do. You know, he just put a random bag of misfits together as a little faction or something. And I think at some point she becomes a part of one of those. But like Chad said, that's down the line. We'll get to it when we get to it. The next match, once again, underwhelming. It is Sandman with woman against Tommy Dreamer. And Aaron?
It was what it was. They didn't do anything. But
Underwhelming. You got underwhelming. It was what it was, and I'll just say it was so. But go ahead, Aaron.
I think they went into this thing thinking that it was going to be like the climax of the feud or whatever, and decided they wanted to keep going with it. So it was just kind of,
Oof.
it wasn't a, you know what I'm saying? Like I think they went in thinking now this is going to be the blow off, but they're like, oh, we want to keep going with it, so let's just come up with some convoluted bullshit.
Well, I agree with you because they really don't even have a match.
No.
Yeah, you're right. It was more of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But goddamn, does Sandman wear a Dreamer out with that damn cane?
Yeah, that you're not shitting there. That's
That
the
cane
truth.
started splitting and it started bending. Like, you know, I mean, you guys, I probably explained it on the show. You do know what the gimmick is with the Singapore cane, right? Like how it's supposed to hurt.
Yeah, I mean it's
It starts separating and cutting.
Yeah, but look at the cane. Look at the Singapore cane in ECW. You'll notice there'll be tape wrapped around.
at certain points.
Yeah, just to keep the knots. Because that shit, Sandman's not going to take it easy on you with that shit. And
Right.
Dreamer clearly didn't take it easy on Sandman. And even Bob Ortiz got it.
Yes.
I can't
Yes,
believe Bob did. I can't believe Bob agreed to that.
And they did the right thing. It wouldn't happen, I don't think, in wrestling today. The rest of the show, you don't see Bob.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah, there's some other ring announcer. I don't know who he is, but yeah, the
it
rest
could
of
have
the
been
show.
Tony. I think that's his brother.
Yeah, but the rest of the show, Bob doesn't do any of the ring announcing.
Smart move by Paul. Because somebody in the crowd that was smart enough probably would have, well, before the internet anyway, but somebody would have caught on to that.
But yeah, this whole thing is essentially Tommy hides under the ring with a cane so he doesn't get an entrance. He kisses woman, and the ref DQs him very early. And like Chad said, then Bob Ortiz gets caned and the Sandman. And that's all my notes I have on it, to be honest with you. Like I said, it wasn't a match. It wasn't a match. It was just
And they did like basically this was them still trying to get people to think that Tommy's like, he's not a pretty boy anymore. He's hardcore.
Of course. I mean, everything from the time they started shitting on him was to do that. I mean, they're going in the right direction, I guess. I mean, I'm not even a fan of Tommy. I mean, we're barely even kind of friends. But
you're right. You're right though. With the story they're trying to tell, they're going in the right direction. I mean, I think we're probably the next taping or the taping after is when you're going to have the police survey. I have another angle.
I don't know. We ain't got there yet
with the cane. So, I mean, that's the direction they're headed. And this. I mean, yeah, as far as a confrontation kind of thing goes, this was effective for what it was supposed to be.
And I do like the fact that Sandman was resurrected with the
cigarette.
With the Pall Mall.
You sure it wasn't a Lucky Strike?
It was a Pall Mall or a Durrell. One of the two.
It probably depends on whatever gas station they stopped at before they Hack walked in and go, hey.
But this is 19
Newports, and they're like, this is a Circle K. And Durrell.
Back then, you could get a pack of basics for $1.38. Jesus.
He wants something less than that. He wants like the what do they call it when the stuff's didn't come out right and they sell it at a discount?
like an outlet cigarette.
Yeah, it's like when you make a tennis shoe and you're making it and one of the machines mess up the swoosh,
like the defect.
Yeah, defect. He goes in there and look.
All the filters are different sizes on the cigarettes.
The cigarette packs are all mixed up with different cigarettes.
I got a Durrell in here. I got a Pall Mall.
He's rooting through the dumpsters, looking for any cigarette butts.
He's asking the homeless for cigarettes.
Oh my goodness!
You got a cigarette?
Hey, Jay Sully, you got to smoke.
Yeah, Sandman loved his cigarettes.
The next match on this show is one that I was very much looking forward to hearing Aaron's opinion on. I don't know why.
Oof.
It's the Public Enemy and the Bad Breed for the ECW Tag Team Championships.
It was fucking crap. Like it's Falls Count Anywhere, and they say, "Oh, what was it like? The team that doesn't answer the 10 count now, the team that was standing gets to use the bat, but then the other team is still using the bat. Like it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it's a convoluted fucking mess." And
no chemistry,
and the whole thing, in my opinion, everybody in the match was a few steps off, and it was in fucking slow motion.
They should have just let Rocco and Axel book the match. Because Johnny and Ian are just, come on, seriously. Just goofs. And, didn't know shit from Shinola. But if Teddy and Axel got together, I'm sure they could have made something out of that. It was just a basic tag team match.
Yeah, well, and I have written down here. There's a lot of like lots of sloppy last man standing type shit here.
Yeah,
not like good last man standing stuff. Sloppy shit.
and you don't get to see half of it. Like
I know this camera was just panning all over the place.
Like there's a point where Rocco does like a moonsault off the scaffold and puts Ian through the table, and you don't even get to fucking see it. You hear it because big fuckers thud through the goddamn table and smack to the ground or whatever. And it sounded fucking impressive as hell, but you don't fucking see it. It's like,
well, that's because what they only have there, what, a 2-camera shoot?
I think this was just one.
A hard cam?
I think so.
If they had one camera, it would have to be a hard cam.
Like I said earlier in the show, that was what I was saying about like seeing tops of heads and feet, but there would be action outside the ring where you didn't, like Aaron said, you hear it. Something happened, but I can't fucking see it.
Oh, well, dude, I remember thinking that during the Public Enemy Bad Breed match when there was so much chaos going on, and the cameraman, like the two guys, they both split to different sides of the ring, outside the ring, and the hard cam was still stationed on the turnbuckle, like the corner post. And then you hear Joey doing the color, and you're just like, where the fuck is anybody ahead? But yeah, clearly they worked on that. But yeah, it was what it was. I'm not going to kill either one of them. I didn't think either one of them tried too hard. And I think that this is probably the beginning of Bad Breed on the way out.
Definitely Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely Ian.
We're getting close to the what is it, the
Taipei death match or
whatever.
Well, they haven't broken up yet. Man, I don't know if they did much with the angle. Like if they did anything on TV about like anybody jumping somebody, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think they just kind of broke up, and then all of a sudden they had a Taipei death match. Because somebody saw like Bloodsport or something the night before.
We could do this. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
It was legitimately broken glass.
With the party,
they just couldn't break it down fine enough, so the glass wouldn't stick to the tape, to the glue.
I don't know if did that ever make TV, or is it on any of the videos? Because I don't know if I've ever actually seen the match itself. Maybe highlights from it, but I don't know if I've ever seen the whole thing.
It may have been on Hostile City.
Okay.
I mean, it may have. I don't even know if I have it. That's a good question.
I think it's funny when any of us try to say Hostile City, we say Hostile City.
Yeah, well, Freudian.
But the Public Enemy does win this match and retain their tag team titles. You guys have anything else on this debacle?
Glad it's over.
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, well, I mean, how do you really feel there, Aaron?
But the next thing is the highlight of the fucking show.
Probably a nice little work of art.
Yes, Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio is fucking great. Like, I don't even have a lot of notes for the match because I was just watching the match. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if this was the first time these two have worked together.
That was the third, because there was a match that they put on TV, and then there was another one they did that they didn't put on TV that the rope broke on, and they showed highlights of it. So this is like their third match.
Well, they definitely they got. I mean, they got some pretty good chemistry. I think.
Like the only note I have is that there is that fucking pile driver that scored.
Oh, that I got the same note.
Fucking rough.
Yep, I think we all wrote that down. I have that here too.
Oh, that pile driver was brutal. Yeah, that was gnarly. I don't even know who to blame. I don't know what went wrong. Was it who took it? Sabu, right?
Yeah.
Did Scorpio just kind of like give up like halfway through it or something? And was like, fuck all this.
But that's the only note I have, and I paused because I was like, I want to watch this match. I don't want to miss anything, and they fucking hit it. I'm like, pause, sick looking pile driver on Sabu, and then I started the match back up again. This is the best fucking thing on the entire show.
It is, and it would have been even better. Again, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but if there were things during this match again that you didn't see because of the camera work, and I just that I think that's kind of sad that didn't get on tape. Also, I have written down a question that I wanted to ask you guys as I was watching this. In this moment in time, August of 1994, are these two guys both easily two of the top 5 workers in the country?
Oh, Scorpio probably.
I was gonna say Scorpio. I don't know if I'd say Sab. Like when you say want to say worker, you just mean like in ring ability or whatever.
Yeah, just I'm gonna watch a match with this guy, and I'm gonna enjoy everything I see while I'm watching.
I don't like. I could be wrong because I'm not a wrestler, so I could be using the term.
He's a car crash guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Sabu a worker. He's a spectacle.
Yeah, okay. That's right. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing. Like
I mean, there's a reason why you book Andre and you bill him as a special attraction.
Yeah, like to me, a worker's like Scorpio, Regal, Benoit. Sabu is like a fucking like what the fuck is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like his uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his uncle had a lot of pull.
Mm-hmm.
So he could suck as much as he wanted to.
No shit.
It's like Jim Barnett.
Oh, my boy.
Sorry.
My boy.
I feel like I should stop the show.
Stop the show, Maxon. Jesus Christ.
My boy.
Scorpio.
When he ran his companies, he saved money with the commission on physicals because he was like, "I'll do them. Don't worry."
What's that?
Barnett.
Oh yeah.
I'll check.
You know what? I don't think I've ever had that on a physical. Most of the time, it's just temperature, blood pressure. That's pretty much it. I can't remember which state made you piss and all the other shit like that, but it wasn't very many. And
maybe Massachusetts.
Huh?
Maybe Massachusetts.
Yeah, I'm assuming anywhere.
The only reason I say that is because I have a buddy that grew up in Boston and lived out there till like he was in his 30s, and he calls the place Taxachusetts. Like he's like they tax you for everything. There's an investigation for everything. There's an inspection for everything. You have to jump through hoops for everything in Massachusetts. So that's why when you said a complicated physical, I just gravitated to that state.
Well, here in Maryland, we got a weird thing where everything's broken down into categories. Mm-hmm. So you basically get nickel and dime in everything when it comes to taxes. You don't realize, when you get a bill for the trash that it's like $45, right? And you get another bill for something, like that shit. They just bill you for everything,
and then you wonder where are the actual taxes that are coming out of my paycheck going to? Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I pay taxes. I don't. because I don't get any taxes taken out of my check.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to file for all that stupid shit. And most of the time, Miss Jessica, the lovely Miss Jessica, she knows how to manipulate numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got to save all my receipt. You know what I mean? All that crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in wrestling, no independent wrestler ever filed taxes. Because what are you going to file? I got no income. This dude paid me $20.
How do you claim how do you file a hot dog?
Yeah, but just think if you could, because all the I mean, I don't mean a hot dog. No, I'm not talking about claiming a hot dog. I'm talking about gas.
Yeah.
Because up here in Maryland, you really can't claim gas. You have to have a specific occupation to claim gas. And I mean, I save all my receipts because, like I said, the lovely Miss Jess, she can manipulate some numbers and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, my wife does the same thing because with the podcast, we have an LLC. We started an LLC for that reason, so that I can actually claim half of my internet bill because we use it to record this podcast. I can claim part of my mortgage because I use this office to record them. So yeah, I mean, and my wife's in banking, so she knows how to work the system too. So yeah, I mean, get every fucking dime you can out of the government, people.
Dude. If it wasn't for Jess, I haven't filed taxes in years, and it probably wasn't even until the first year or two that we were together that she found this out. When I started getting letters. After I changed my address at the motor vehicles and the mail started coming here and stopped going to my old apartment where I could intercept it. And she's like, how many credit cards do you have? I go, I don't know, as many as they keep sending me.
It says approved and I take it.
Fuck yeah, I'm approved. I mean, that they think I can pay them back. They got more confidence in me than I do.
Thank you, MasterCard. Thank you, MasterCard, for your affirmation. Yes,
dude, I filed for bankruptcy over somewhere around $10,000. Whatever it was that I owed, and I got it. And literally a couple days later, I started getting ads in the mail for credit cards. Car lots want to approve me for buying a new car. And my attorney told me that you'll never get approved. Like, you'll never get approved for, a loan or anything.
Right.
And little did he know, dude, I got credit cards out the yin yang. They just
Bankruptcy is gold, Jerry. It's gold.
Yep. Bankruptcy is a beautiful thing if you find the right lawyer. If you owe $10,000, I know a guy you can only pay $2,500 to, and he takes payments. A matter of fact, I still owe him, and that was 30 years ago.
One note I have on this Too Cold Sabu match: Scorpio during this match misses one of the most beautiful moonsaults I've ever seen, but he misses it. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. And Sabu does wind up winning the match with the Arabian Facebuster.
Well, how did he mess it up? Because I must not have caught that.
Well, no, it was a moonsault that he was intended to miss, but the moonsault itself was a thing of beauty. Like he just sailed, and I mean, it was great, but he missed it.
Who had a better moonsault than Scorpio?
The only other person that I could say, I don't even know if it's better, but the only other person I could say had a as beautiful a moonsault as that is Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's moonsaults were pretty.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he always missed his too. So the best ones he always missed.
Well, that's because they were probably worried about killing the guy. Yeah, if they're going to do it right, and they're committed to doing it. Mm-hmm. They probably don't want to hit you with it because for fear of what if. I mean, I felt the same way.
Well, it's like Kurt said Bob Holly told that to him because if you remember, Kurt broke Bob Holly's arm when he hit his moonsault, and that's what he told him. He was like, the first goddamn moonsault you ever hit, and you broke my fucking arm.
Yeah, take that out of your fucking repertoire. I stopped doing it, I don't know, a few years. I mean, I stopped attempting to land it a few years into my career when I realized I ain't that fucking acrobatic. I'm not black. I don't have any of them genes in me that I can do all this flippy floppy stuff, and yet I continue to try.
Like, I ain't black and I ain't the Great Muda, so I ain't doing it.
No, I mean, but Scorpio probably had the. I know, like you said, Kurt Angle was probably right up there, but Muda's moonsault was to me the most impressive.
Yeah,
because he wouldn't go up there and showcase it.
Yeah, no, it was like quick.
Yeah, he would plant the guy, however he planted the guy, and he'd be up on the top rope, and boom, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Moonsault City.
Well, the final match here is the one that we discussed at the beginning of the show with the iconic ending, but it is Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, and you're not going to go wrong here with these two guys in the ring against each other.
No, I don't know. On paper.
And I thought Jack's promo at the beginning was fantastic about, you're already looking at him sideways because he's saying, I want Cactus Jack and Terry Funk to have a great technical classic in the ECW arena. Yes.
Well, that's. I mean, how are you going to build better heat?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Philadelphia.
And it's the beginning of Cactus cutting promos in ECW, which are my favorite promos of all time. Right up there with Dusty. But Cactus's promos in ECW are literally my favorite promos ever. But
and from what I remember, almost all of them were one take Jakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, Paul would just say, "All right," because once Paul got you on set, you did all the promos you needed to do. It wasn't like you cut a promo for whatever a spot show or whatever show,
right?
And then you go to the next guy and he cuts a promo. No, you cut all the promos for all the shows you're doing, like at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack was the guy that everybody in the locker room would clamor around, like when he was doing his promos. It could have been 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you would still have 20 guys sitting around watching Jack cut all these promos, and just like their tongues are hanging out. Like, what the hell, man?
And I'm not thinking Jack. I'm not thinking just from what I've seen over the years. I'm pretty much thinking Mick is not the guy that's just insert city here and it's the same promo over and over again. I'm sure everyone was different.
Well, yeah, that's what Jack wanted. I mean, Jack was that. He was different.
Mm-hmm.
He thought outside the box, He cut promos that made you think, about stuff. And, I mean, wait till we get to the Kane Dewey.
Absolutely.
Because by then, with the sheets, everybody knew who Dewey was.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody could understand. It wasn't like just some regular market watching going, who the fuck is Dewey?
And the match itself, Aaron, I'll let you give your thoughts.
They try to ECW used to try to do like rally against the machine type stuff, and I understand it, but there's like a point where they're chopping each other and the crowd's going woo, and Joey tries to be like, it's like it's not senior citizen night here, like making
that was the wrong. Yeah,
and I'm like, Terry Funk's older than Ric Flair. Like, that is not a joke that they should be making at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only negative thing I had about this entire match. It's just like, don't try to poke something, like poke fun at something that it's like,
I just thought, like I said, they were just killing time until probably going to be ran in.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was this big ass security guard, big black dude. I think Ray Candy's working security. Throw that now.
I don't even think
Yeah.
Ray Candy was still alive.
I don't think he was either, but
Muhammad, whatever his name, Akeem Muhammad may have been.
when I saw it, I was like, "Is that Ray Candy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think he died a couple months before this." But
Maybe a few years. Akeem Olajuwon. Remember them?
Yep.
Who was their manager?
JJ?
No.
JJ? I thought JJ was their manager at one point.
the Zamboni Express.
Oh, no, Paul Jones. Paul Jones was their manager.
Who was their first manager in Florida?
Oh.
Humperbanks?
No, he didn't manage. I think he managed the Angel. It was Jonathan Holiday. I mean, he didn't last very long either. And I don't think either one of the, whatever it is, the Akeem African Dream Express gimmick didn't stick around too much longer as well.
Well, the match itself, like Aaron and Chad both alluded to, it was just getting to the end of it, really, where the Public Enemy comes out and attacks Terry Funk, and then they try to throw Cactus on top of Terry to pin him. Cactus refuses, and this results in the four of them brawling around the arena. So we're furthering the feud between Terry Funk and Public Enemy and inserting Cactus Jack into it, essentially.
Right. That's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who do you have left for Public Enemy?
Yeah, I mean, nobody that you've built effectively, to be honest. I mean,
and I doubt very seriously they're actively searching for tag teams.
Right. Who's your next potential challengers? Tasmaniac and Snuka?
Phi Delta Slam. The Moon Dogs.
Johnny Hot Body and the Rockin' Rebel.
That's my team right there. That's the same man.
Me and Donnie Allen.
Shearer Brothers.
Jesus.
Pull that one off.
Is it Kyle Shearer? It's Shearer, right? Kyle and Keith.
You think that's the inspiration for Elias and Ezekiel?
I hope not. But you could be right because it's getting over with me like the other gimmick did. Yeah, I don't get me started. I don't.
And then also, like we said, at the end of this brawl around the ring with Funk, Cactus Jack, and the Public Enemy, Cactus and Terry are asking some of the crowd, hey, throw us a couple of chairs. And what winds up happening is
The big spot.
Yes.
All of the chairs.
One of the unintentional visual classic moments in ECW history.
Wrestling history.
Yes.
You see it every week.
This is not how it was supposed to go, but it was fortuitous that it did go this way.
I'm just glad that Funk and Cactus have the ability to just call an audible out in the middle of the ring. And just, you know what I mean? Because I doubt very seriously that Paul told him to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Paul had any input in that match at all?
Doubtful.
Other than maybe the finish?
Maybe the beginning not Jack's promo essentially, but the impetus, like the what his promo was supposed to be about, maybe.
I think he might have thought he was going to have some input in that match.
Huh.
You know what I mean? But then walked up, said, hey, this is what I think you were going to do. This is what I think you should do. And Terry Funk was probably like, I appreciate that, but this is what we're going to do.
I'm pretty sure he didn't even say that. He probably just either nodded, didn't say it, didn't even make a motion, because he already knew what he was going to do.
Mm. So
I guess.
He just looked at Paul and gave him his resting Dory face.
The lemon head look.
But I actually wrote a question down here to ask you, Chad, as someone that is obviously a worker, has been in the ring. For something like this, where, like I said, obviously Cactus and Terry's intention when they asked for somebody to throw some chairs to them was not for the entire arena to start chucking their chairs in the ring.
No.
As a worker, does something like this piss you off? I know it's an iconic moment and et cetera, hindsight, but for the safety of the guys in the ring, is something like this something that as a worker would piss you off?
No, I would consider that an honor of valor.
Okay.
I mean, wouldn't you? That, you know, you're reaching out to your fans
Mm-hmm.
that, help me out here. And then whether or not they were fans or not, I'm sure they all were. But I mean, everybody was like, oh, yeah, once you see the first chair come in, everybody said, oh, fuck yeah, I like this.
Open the chair faucet. Yeah.
This is a good idea. So, yeah, I don't think it was actually planned. But, I mean, once it happened. And you could see the guys run for their lives.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I was going to ask, too. Like, say what you want to say about them. Grunge and Rocco are underneath that whole thing. Like,
Well, that's the best place to be.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, is that just, like, I don't know how I want to say it. Like, is it, like, safe just laying there, or, like,
Oh, if you're underneath a bunch of chairs like that?
Like, the
Yeah,
first
because
couple probably suck, but after that, it's probably just whatever, right?
Yeah, after you get a bunch of pot on top of you, like the one thing you don't want to do is have your head exposed to an errant chair, like that flies in. I mean, because they have them little screws in the sides.
Mm-hmm.
That's what hurts you. It ain't the chair seat. And we definitely didn't have the same chairs they had at Karaoke and Hall, where the guys were busting the bottoms out of them and shit.
Right.
No, I mean, yeah, it was just a great visual.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And then the not Bob Ortiz ring announcer's like, please don't throw chairs in the ring.
I was getting a beer when I heard that, and I just was like, oh boy,
can you please not throw the chairs? The minute he said, "Can you please not throw the chairs?" Anybody that hadn't thrown their chair threw their fucking chair.
They were in Philadelphia. How much you want to bet that could have been Paul telling the guy to say that?
Yeah, it's like this guy that looks like he manages a Kenny Rogers telling me not to throw a head chair in the fucking ring.
Throw it directly at you.
I never thought about this. I've never thought of this before, but what if Paul did tell him to say that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're in the ECW arena.
He's like, be as polite as you can. Like, this is Philadelphia, so if you're polite, they're going to fucking hate you.
I would thoroughly appreciate it if you would not toss any more of your seating implements.
What is this? This is like Vince McMahon's list of terms you can use. Medical facility. It can't be a championship. It's a title belt.
Don't throw your chairs in the fucking ring. You can make that one word with commas, I guess. I don't know.
Well, overall,
that was a great. That was just like one of them great moments where I'm sure I was there because I watched everything on that little tiny ass fucking on somebody's black and white TV that from their bedroom they brought there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I remember I just remember all that shit. How I used to be the only guy sitting there watching everything, and then as the show went on, as the guys finished their shit, they would all come back and sit there and watch, the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't so much as in like, I want to see what they're going to do. It's more like appreciation. Like, oh, this should be good.
Do you remember any of the guys' reactions after they walked back through, after the chairs?
No, because didn't they? I think they just brawled. Like, I think they may have shot an angle outside too. No, I mean, at that point, the show was over and I had to go find fucking Axel to fucking go home. Because I'm not sure if he drove that night or I drove that night, but it's a pretty safe bet that I probably drove.
Well, that being said, guys, overall, what did we think of Hardcore Heaven 1994 in retrospect?
Honestly, I didn't hate it as much as you guys did. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was the most ECW type show that I've seen so far, if that makes sense.
Oh no, it completely makes sense because we're seeing a change in the product.
Mm-hmm.
Paulie's finally gotten the stink off of the Todd Gordon era, right?
Yes, he has cleansed the Cabrini.
Yeah, he definitely has done that. And
The only Cabrini holdout's Rockin' Rebel, isn't he?
I mean, I guess. I mean, well,
I won't count Sandman because Sandman evolved, but I'm just saying like the only like just regular act is fucking Rockin' Rebel.
Yeah,
yeah, and then a close second would probably either be me or Dreamer or Bad Breed. Well, Cairo to an extent, but Cairo.
I just mean like with like the fact that nothing's changed about like Rockin' Rebel is still the same Rockin' Rebel that he was in Cabrini. You know what I mean? Everybody else's characters like they've put like ECW-esque type stuff on them. You know what I mean?
That's what they should have done. That's what you want to do. I mean, you're not running Todd Gordon's ECW anymore. You're starting a whole new thing. I thought everything was right. Yeah, I mean, what'd you give the show, Aaron?
I would have gave the show a solid B- or a C. I enjoyed it.
All right, I'll probably go as high as probably a C plus. I mean, you could probably argue a B-, but I don't think so.
Like the only
I
thing
think it was just an average show for a company that was just establishing their ground, their roots.
The only thing the only thing I didn't enjoy on it was fucking Public Enemy and Bad Breed. And I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, what about 911 and Mr. Hughes? I didn't go into 911 and Mr. Hughes thinking, oh, this is gonna be great, and then I was let down.
It's going to be Liger and Pegasus Kid.
Yeah, I knew this wasn't gonna be. I knew it was gonna be total suck, so I wasn't mad when it was total suck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed watching this show.
Well, I bailed out on both of them guys a long time ago, anyway. So nothing surprised me, shocked me, turned my opinion the other way.
And one thing where I totally agree with Aaron is this is the most ECW thing we've seen that we have reviewed so far. And I mean, we are literally, I think the NWA Championship tournament where Shane throws the belt down is about 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, they were a couple weeks away from it.
So you are really we are really getting to the point where it's going to stop being Eastern Championship Wrestling from the NWA, just an indie, and becoming Extreme Championship Wrestling. And shit's about to get good, guys.
About to? We've been doing this show for a year and a half?
Oh no, this show's always been good. I'm talking about their show.
No, that's what I mean. What the hell you mean?
We've sat through a lot of this, and we had a lot of fun doing it. But it's things are about to change drastically in the next few weeks, and I am glad that our listeners and my co-hosts are going to be along with me for the journey. And I don't know if you guys have any parting words for our listeners. I know we recorded late this week, so I want to thank you guys for being here. Aaron, any parting words for everybody out there this week?
Just that there was a fan request to bring the ham bone of the week award back, so that'll be returning next week.
We don't do it anymore?
We haven't officially given anybody the ham bone in a while.
Oh.
This guy officially wants us to start ham boning people, so we're gonna do it. I'll bring it back, and I'll actually start charting it.
So what I'm gonna do is what I'm gonna do is.
Why was that funny?
I don't know. I'll start charting it. It's gonna be a ham bone chart. There's gonna be statistics and shit.
If people start paying for the show and we start making some money, I know my old Maryland promoter owns like a wrestling store and like a trophy shop.
Mail people the ham?
Well, no, we mailed out the first time. And then after that, the ham bone of the week has to mail it out the next time. And then people are going to wonder why Archie Mitchell's getting so many packages.
It's like, I got to keep mailing it to myself?
yeah. The UPS guy is pulling up at his house. Is he married? Like the UPS guy keeps pulling up at his house like every week.
Archie's wife is like, why is the return address and the sent to address the same address
That's right.
every week?
Ham bone of the week. I'm venturing towards Mr. Hughes though.
He's been pretty ham bone lately.
He has been pretty ham bone.
He actually, as time went on, he kind of replaced Sal Balomo as our weekly running joke.
And I'm pretty
But-
sure Mr. Hughes has ate some ham bones in his time.
Yeah, he's hamming it up all right.
Some ham bones, some greens. He's good.
Collard greens, some chitlins,
Some
pork
ham bones.
rinds, the Undertaker. That's it.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, this week on Reliving the Extreme. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time around.